Welcome back to another edition of our coaches interviews for our season preview for the 2024-2025 SJHL season. Today, we are heading to Battlefords to be joined by the newly named head coach and general manager of the North Stars, Gary Childerhose. Chili, thanks for joining us today. How's everything going as we flip the calendar to preseason hockey?
Hey, Clark. Thanks for having me. Things are going well. It's been really good, busy here lately, and just looking forward to getting things underway.
Yeah, obviously a much different angle for you this season compared to your last several seasons that you've taken the reins now in Battleford. So far, I know it's still early, but what are some of the biggest differences that you've noticed compared to your previous roles?
Yeah, I think, I think it was one of the things that I was fortunate to be on staff for the summer, obviously with everything that transpired and stuff like that. And honestly, I think it was one of those things where, obviously when everything happened, you just kind of get thrown into the fire, so to speak, right away. And initially when we heard about what was going on and things like that, I just kind of, jumped on the phone and started talking to our veterans and our signed guys and our draft picks and things like that. So I was fortunate enough to be here for the past 3 years and, build some strong relationships with the players and their families and that sort of thing. So it's been, it's been busier and things like that as to be expected, but it's been a good transition so far, and it's been an enjoyable experience, and just looking forward to starting the whole process when the guys get here.
Did you get any downtime this summer? I mean, obviously there's a lot going on with the whole coaching switch there, but was there any time that you had to yourself this summer?
Oh, for sure there was. After the season, you take some time and things like that. We were fortunate enough to do a lot of things and be on staff with the team, so I was working and stuff like that with the organization, but definitely made some time for a little bit of enjoyable free time and collect yourself and regroup and reset for the upcoming season.
Chili, we know that the North Stars have been near or at the top of the league now for the better part of the last decade. So now that you've been a part of the team for a good chunk of that at least, what will you take from your experiences from the last few years as you enter this season now in terms of lessons or values that you've been able to kind of gather?
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, coming in early on with Braden and being here for 3 years, he was an unbelievable guy to work with. He's one of my, best friends and things like that. And it was a great experience. We had a lot of good times together and, put in a lot of hard work together and things like that as well. So for me, fortunate enough to be around for the past 3 years and obviously going, having some great years and going to the Centennial Cup and things like that. I, feel that we, built a lot of this culture together and our standards and things like that. So a lot of that's not going to change for us moving forward here. We still, play that black and silver style of hockey and everything like that. So it's been really good, and so I'm looking forward to getting going here.
Has Braden joked with you about making any like blockbuster trades just to blow up the summer at all, or is that on the back burner for now?
Well, I think he's got we've been chatting and stuff like that, keeping in good contact, but I think he's got his hands full here right now with everything that's going on here with big wedding day and stuff like that coming up. So I think he's ready to rock and roll in a lot of areas over there.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously, let's look at last season really quick. Coming into last year, the narrative was that, I mean, you guys lost a ton of production coming into last season. You ended up getting Kean Bell back, obviously, for another MVP season. You can't complain about stuff like that. But you had guys last year like Ben Portner and Braden Sinclair, among others, that really stepped up. And in a different way, you're in a similar situation this season. So let's start up front with the forwards. Who's coming back that you are really expecting to take a huge step coming into this season?
Well, there's quite a few guys, I believe. We have our captain returning, Jackson Allen, who's been with us for 3 years. And for myself, being a first-year coach, very happy and proud to have Jackson to be, my first captain and things like that. He's a guy that, has a winning, high standards, winning mindset. And, he's a winner and knows what it takes to win. And I think he's a guy that coming in right off the bat that sticks out to me, to have a really big year. We got 19-year-old forward Rylan Williams, who was, very dominant last year, just put up over more than 32 points kind of thing. And, was at the SJMJ showcase and had a strong showing there. So, we feel Rylan Williams is, can be one of the best power forwards in the league, that type of thing. We have Eli Anderson returning from a trade that was made last season with Weyburn. We have Kobe Anderson in town, local guy from town here who's been with the team for a few years. Colton Getzlaff's another guy up front that, we believe that he can, really have a breakout year. Last year, going through the whole process, he really battled and fought for everything that he had. And, he's a guy that shows up every day and, comes to work and things like that. Another guy would be a Braden Nienaber up front. He's another hardworking guy that's, willing to do whatever it takes. Obviously on the back end, we have Jordan Grill, who's been with us for 4 years now. Been with us for the Centennial Cup and things like that. He's a local guy as well. And, our locals take pride in, playing for the community and things like that. And, Grill's spent some time up front and on the back end. And, he's been very valuable for us in both areas. And we kind of joke that we wish we could, clone him and have two of them and have one up front and one on the back end, because he's dominant in each position. And we feel he's a guy that can really break out this year, along with, Gavin Granger, who's another defenseman returning who, he won with the Blazers there in AAA, and he's a guy that big and strong and hard shot, and he's got a great stick, and he's another guy with that winning mindset and winning mentality. And obviously, in goal with Matthew MacArthur returning, we feel that he can be ready to go and have a strong year and put us in a good spot right off the bat. And obviously, in saying, you lose out of 264 goals last year, we only have 61 goals returning, that type of thing. But in saying that, you got to fill the buckets. And I think we have a good group of guys that returning that are going to be able to, step up into those roles and really strive for that.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I say it all the time, but my favorite part about junior A hockey is every year there's a ton of opportunity for somebody to step into and take advantage of, and it seems like there's another good opportunity again this year. Like I said, last year you guys had a very similar situation, losing a ton of the production that you guys had in that big, massive year that you guys went all the way. And this year, again, different situation, but fairly similar. There's some opportunity there, and I think you just named a bunch of names that really looking forward to seeing if they can kind of take that and run with it. Were you able to add any guys over the summer here, Chili, or maybe some draft picks that are coming up that you're excited to see in camp and maybe you expect to maybe make an impact this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We were fortunate enough to acquire Anthony Campbell, a 19-year-old right-handed centerman from the Fort McMurray Oil Barons, along with Brett Boucher, who's a 20-year-old right winger from Fort McMurray as well. Anthony's, a highly skilled, highly motivated centerman. He put up, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points, and I believe 50 games for Fort Mac last year. So we believe, he's a guy that's going to be highly motivated coming in and looking to make an impression right away. And, we're looking forward to see him do so, as well as Brett Boucher, who was an assistant captain for the Oil Barons last year for the whole year. And, he brings that energy, and he's another guy we feel that can step in, and, we're going to need him to produce as well. And, he's one of those guys that's a great leader and great person in the room. And, he's been around a while as well. So very fortunate and happy to add those guys as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned Jordan Grill. I mean, he could probably lead the league in ice time this year, given the fact that he can play both positions pretty well, and he's done it before. Alex Isaac, Tanner Gold, graduating a couple very, very top-end players on the blue line. And then, like I said, you have Jordan Grill coming back. You mentioned Gavin Granger as another name. Is there any names that you're looking forward to seeing what they can do on the blue line once camp rolls around?
Yeah, for sure. I think with our group this year, we're fortunate enough to have a good combination of that experience that I mentioned earlier, along with some good youth as well. We've committed to we have some really good 07 players coming in, underage players, and a few of them on the back end. You got your Lincoln Fishers, your Keegan Nashes, and your Will and Sam Kerwin. Sam obviously being the forward. Those 407s, and we feel like they are ready to go, and we got the kid Owen Deck there he's basically just down the road there in Borden, who plays a strong, hard-nosed game, very, very good defensively, very aware defensively, and he's got a great stick and he's great instincts and things like that. So we're excited about all those guys coming in. And Dane Henry, who's another guy who's been around here, had his brother for some years in the past there. He's another guy coming in that's going to be hungry. And like I say, the opportunity is going to be there, and it's going to be what people do with it.
So in net, you already mentioned Matthew MacArthur coming back for his 20-year-old season as an 04. Last year, I think you would agree with me that it was a bit of a rotating door in net for you guys. I mean, the most games any goalie played, that was Logan Cunningham with 17. You had Justin Merrick with 13. You had Joey Hocko with 14, and then Matthew MacArthur came in as well. And so what are you looking forward to this year in net? And is it nice to have a guy coming back this year with a little bit of experience and going into a big year for himself as well?
Yeah, it really is. And like you said, we were going back and forth for the most part when Mac kind of got here and stuff like that. I know we split in the both series with Flin Flon and things like that during the regular season. And, like you say, it was back and forth and that type of thing. And, he's had a good summer, and he's another guy that's a highly motivated person. And, he's put in the work here this summer, and he's looking, he's going to get that opportunity to, here to be the guy right out of the gates. And, we're fortunate enough as well to bring in an 18-year-old goaltender with junior A experience, and Dylan Adams, who spent some time, spent the year in Merritt last season as a 17-year-old, as an underage player. So he's another guy that we're, looking forward to bringing in here and coming in. And, another guy from Quebec will be coming to camp as well. So it'll be a healthy competition in net, but we're looking forward to it, and we're happy with our group right now.
So with the transition, of course, taking over as the general manager as well of this team, coming from the assistant coach's role and everything else you did with the team, obviously there's a business side of this whole thing as well. Off the ice, there's ticket sales, there's all sorts of fundraising and all sorts of stuff like that. How has the summer gone for that kind of stuff? And how is it looking for the home opener plans and anything for the fans going into the home opener here, which is just a couple weeks away?
Yeah, for sure. It's been busy, like you say, but fortunate enough to have a great board and people that have been around the organization for a really long time. Really good president and vice president, and like I said, the board members, and you surround yourself with really good people, and it helps out quite a bit. It's been obviously busy, but it's been good busy, and the way things have transpired and stuff like that. It's a learning curve, and you're learning as you go, but it's been a good experience so far. And you just keep and obviously, like I say, working with Braden and Mike Reagan in the past, being able to ask those guys questions and things like that, I already had a little bit of an idea of what the job entailed and things like that. So prepared for the situation, but also had fortunate to get the help that I needed.
Absolutely. And it's, like you said, a solid board up there, and I'm sure that they are a big, big help. So let's get back on the ice. Last one for you here, Chili. In terms of goals for the team or targets maybe that you're aiming for in your first year here now as head coach, outside of a championship, of course, because that would be the easy answer for everybody I ask this question to. But what would you say that you'd like to accomplish in your first full year here at the controls for the North Stars?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just, another kind of a cliche thing, but it's the truth, and it's getting better every day, and pushing each other every day to get better. And for us, the mentality is very similar. We're a hardworking group that pushes each other, and we're on the ice twice a day in the gym. It's hockey, hockey, hockey here all the time, and I'm looking forward to the group returning. I think it's going to be a tremendous fit of guys who are highly motivated and ready to come back and get to work and that type of thing. And it's, you're putting in those work, but you're enjoying the daily process as well. I think, if you're trying to reach those end goals with, where everyone's here to win a championship and that type of thing, but it's the day to day that I really believe gets you there. And, it's a lot of hard work, but it's enjoyable hard work. And, it's fun to work hard and things like that. And it's fun to compete hard. And I feel when you're doing those things, the sense of satisfaction is just that much stronger. So for us, we're just looking to, push one another in a positive way and get better every day, and, enjoy the grind as much as we can.
Yeah, well, Chili, I will let you get back because I know you are working hard, and I know you will be working hard for the next few weeks with camp just around the corner and everything. So I appreciate your time today. Look forward to chatting with you once again when the season gets underway. Good luck in camp, and we'll chat again soon.
Thank you, Clark. If I could just mention one more thing here as well, obviously didn't have the opportunity. Something Wiley. We have our head scout there, Wiley Riendo. He's another guy that's been a tremendous help, and like I said, with surrounding yourself with great people. He's been here for 6 different head coaches and stuff like that. So he's another guy that I've been able to lean on very heavily and things like that. Another guy that I've had a really good relationship with over the past 3 years here in the Battlefords, and just welcoming another local like Owen Lamb as my assistant coach. He's a hardworking guy, a high quality person, a hard worker, and a guy that's won 2 championships for the North Stars, and another guy that's going to be a tremendous fit and really helpful to our culture and what we're trying to do here day in and day out. So fortunate enough to have a really good staff and be surrounded by good people as well.
Yeah, you love to hear that kind of stuff, and that's some great additions and some great already well-established people as well surrounding you there, Chili. So I know you're in good hands, and I know the team's in good hands with you at the helm. So excited to see you behind the bench once again with the North Stars. Good luck again as we get into camp and the regular season.
Thanks, Clark. I appreciate it.